Hello everyone, and today we will be doing the predictions for season 3. This is the first time I have predicted, so we'll see how this goes. So we will start out with like first seed and then make our way down the little list as you can see here. I'm actually recording on computer for the first time since there's no moving objects. It's just me copying and pasting as I go. But without further ado, let's go. So our first prediction, our first game is gonna be Scott and Duck versus Zave and Dev, I think, or Night Dev. Um, I actually haven't really seen much from Zave and Dev. Scott and Duck are a great pair. They won season 1, so you cannot mess around with these guys. But I feel like Zave and Dev they could put up a good fight. I can see him trying. I don't see him winning though. I'm so sorry, guys. And also, if I don't pick you to win, don't think your tournament's over or anything like that. Try to use that to prove me wrong. I would love it. I'd love to see myself get proven wrong. It'd be epic, man. But yeah, I'm gonna say I think it's a sweep. Honestly, man, I'm sorry. I can see 3-1 being possible as well, but I do see there being a sweep. So I see Scott and Doug making it to the second round. Our next game is Rose and Cade versus Alex and Alejandro, and 8 and 9 seed. This is a very even match actually. Because Alejandro's a really decent player. Same with Rose. I'd say both of these seeds are gonna have a huge fight. Like I can see this going 3-2. I can see it being one of the most dramatic games of the tournament. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch this one. I don't know if Alex will make it. I haven't really heard much from him, unfortunately, but hopefully he does. Alejandro, if he gets replaced, it could lead to victory. But I haven't seen Alex play, so I don't. It's like a wild card at that point. But I'm gonna predict. Let me think. Actually, I'm gonna predict 3-2 Rose and Cade win. So right now I'm predicting the higher seeds are winning. So I see Rose and Cade going over Alejandro, but this could easily be opposite. Like I can see Alejandro winning as well. It's a very close matchup, and that's gonna be a lot of fun to see. Game 3 of round 1, Star and Espectro versus Patrick and Poke. And Star, I've seen Star play. She's a very decent, solid player, and I haven't seen a Spectro play. Unfortunately, I don't know if he'll make it, but hopefully he does. And then, of course, Patrick and Poke made the finals last year and unfortunately lost. Patrick has made the finals every single time, for the past 2 seasons. So, like, is this gonna be another finals? Is he gonna make it all the way? I don't know, but I don't. I feel like Star and Spectre are gonna have too much to handle, especially since Patrick and Poke have such good chemistry when they fight together. So I think I see a 1-3 win for Patrick and Poke. I see Star and Spectro maybe capturing once. It could be a sweep, or Star and Spectro can just prove me wrong. But I do see Patrick and Poke winning here. I know it's a lower seed as well that I'm picking, so it's a little surprising, but we'll see. And also, the second letter represents, Patrick and Poke. And right now, actually, I'd say, I haven't actually really predicted any, like, so far I've said it's scored to 3. But this tournament, this next map's going to be high scoring, man. Like, I really don't see it not going to 3, but we'll see, we'll see. So in our next game, game 4 of round 1, Knight and Cookie versus Ben and Ice, and this one's very tricky because I haven't really seen anyone play on this round, so it's gonna be a wild card here. I have seen Ben play; he made finals season 1, so he's a very solid player. I have not really seen Ice play that much. Actually, no, we did. No, that's a lie. Ice played Scott and unfortunately got swept, but I think Ice could easily have room for improvement. So I think Ben and Ice, I'm gonna take them over Night and Cookie just because I haven't seen much. I'm gonna say maybe a 1-2 win for them. It's very hard to predict this one because I haven't seen much from them. Unfortunately for them. Game 5 of round 1, Spider and Miguel versus or Miguel. Sorry Miguel. I'm so sorry. Spider and Miguel versus Andy and Kat. So this one's very interesting. I have seen Spider and Miguel play. They are a solid team. I think they could go. I think they could go to round 2 very easily. I haven't seen Andy and Kat play much though, so that's the only issue here. I know it sounds like I'm gonna take them very like in a sweep, but I haven't. I really don't know. I think Andy's a solid player though. that's my prediction here. So I feel like it might be like I think it's gonna be a 3-1 victory for Spider Miguel, but I think Andy and Kat will be able to capture something, or it's gonna be a sweep. Or you can make it closer and make it very dramatic. I'd love to see that. So yeah, so far 4 out of 5 games I've picked going to 3. Like it's the time is gonna not even gonna run out. Only one of them I'm saying that. So it's gonna be interesting. I actually think Rosencade and Alex and Alejandro could be like a 2-1 victory as well, or a 1-0 victory, just because of how just how decent they are. I was just going back. But yeah, here's the next one. Game 6 of round 1. Chitra and Boss versus E. It's also A009. I just put A9 for nickname. And Shadow. I have not seen A9 and Shadow play much. I did see A9 play. If I scroll down here, you might actually see the preseason game he played. And he lost to Speed and Matt 3-0, unfortunately. So, like, I think he has a lot of room for improvement, but I think this is gonna be a solid game here. But unfortunately, Chitra and Boss right now are on fire right now. They tied with the season 2 champions and 2 games in a row. Unfortunately, lost in preseason. But I think Chitra and Boss have so much momentum going into this. They have so much confidence because they really are proving themselves that they are gonna go far in this tournament. Unfortunately, I'm gonna pick them to go 3-0 on A9 and Shadow. I'm sorry. I just they're too much to handle right now, but you never know. Maybe A009 and Shadow are actually perfectly good. That my predictions aren't always correct. Speed and Matt versus Death and HT. Ooh, probably probably one of the biggest first round games. Both of these teams are solid. Both of them, I'm surprised one of these teams will not be making it to round 2 because they're facing each other. Speed and Matt are a very decent team. They made semifinals last year, and they did a pretty good job at it. And Death and HT, Death is a champion from season 1, of course, since he played 1 round and had to leave in the middle of it. And HT is a first round exiter last year. I think Death and HT have so much potential in this tournament just because they both are really good at this game. Like Death, for instance, he's a freaking champion, but HT, ugh, I don't know. He's a question mark in my head right now. No offense to you, HT, but it's just that first round was very rough for you, and maybe it's just because you didn't have much practice. But if you guys practice, I can see you guys winning here. But this is a hard one, and score wise, it's gonna be hard to predict just because we don't have full information on Area 51. But from a developer standpoint, I see this going. I can see he's going 3-1 or 3-2, or it could go like 2-1, or 1-0. It's gonna be one away. I feel like they could easily prove me wrong though. Actually, I'm gonna prove. I think I'm gonna take Death and HT. I know I just said it's gonna be one away. I'm gonna take 2-0 just to vary the scores here over Matt and Speed. I think Matt and Speed are still very solid. They are not something you can mess with. So that's why there's not 3 here. There's no sweep because I think Speed and Matt can defend against them without, letting them capture 3. Um, Prove me wrong. That's all I can say. And then we have the defending champions versus Uplay and not Penguin. I just could fit not because this is such a small text. Um, of course, I'm gonna pick the defending champions. I'm sorry, Uplay. Uplay has probably had the roughest time in the tournaments. He's such a good sport about it, though, and I love that. I love how Uplay has made semifinals in season 1, but he did get a first round exit last year, unfortunately for him. I see Brett and Sonic taking this one. I can see this going maybe 3-1, but prove me wrong. Brett and Sonic did get scored on in the preseason, so I don't know if they're shut out. I don't know if they're gonna shut him out. Uplay has good potential though. It's just he told me he didn't have a mouse or anything like that, unfortunately, which sucks. Um, so yeah, that is round 1 predictions. I took Scott and Duck, Rose and Cade, Patrick and Poke, Ben and Ice, Spider and Miguel, Chitra and Boss, Death and HT, and Brett and Sonic. So this is I picked a lot of teams that I think show a lot of promise. If you were not picked, don't. It's not like you suck or anything. Don't worry about that. It's just I think these teams have. I think these teams are worth round 2, but that doesn't mean that you're not. Um, It's hard to say because I hate like telling people you're gonna lose because that's I can't really predict the future. I can see a lot of these games turning backwards and completely flopping. Like, what if Brett and Sonic lost? What if the defending champs were out in the first round? It's fully possible. Like, if you practice and you stick your mind to it, I really think like stuff like that can easily be possible. So we have Scott and Duck versus Rose and Cade. So in my prediction, Rose and Cade came off of a 3-2 victory, which was like, ooh, that is like a very, very close game. And then Scott and Duck just easily sweep their way into round two. I don't see Rose and Kate taking this one, unfortunately, though, because Scott and Duck just have so much chemistry. And they had last time they played together in season one, they killed it. They absolutely did super well together. And I'm sorry, Rose and Kate, I do see you going to round two, but I don't see you going to semifinals against Scott and Duck. Let's see the score here. I think Scott and Duck are gonna sweep, honestly, and that's just because I think unless Rose and Cade, you guys practice a bunch, but Scott and Duck, man, there I know a lot of people are counting Scott out because of the bad performances he's been providing, but when he actually tried in the preseason, I saw that good playing by Scott. Let's just say, but don't count them out. I just say maybe you can, but we'll see. Maybe it was just a good day for Scott. Patrick and Poke versus Ben and Ice. So I actually am predicting that Patrick and Ben are gonna have to fight each other after they played together in season one. So I actually hope this happens just because Patrick, Poke, and Ben are all friends, and I'm sorry, but yeah, I kind of hope it would be kind of cool, but I hope it doesn't like hurt any of your friendships, guys. I don't take this too seriously. I do see, however, I can see Patrick and Pope sweeping. I'm sorry, I'm taking sweeps. Um, but because of the Ben and Ice, I haven't seen Ben and Ice play that much, and I took him over Knight and Cookie just because I feel like Knight and Cookie, like I haven't seen them as well, so it's like who knows. But I right now so far I'm picking sweeps for the the finalists because the finalists have been consistent so far. I have not seen any choking and going on yet, unless you guys could prove me wrong. But yeah, I'm gonna take Patrick and Poke for semifinals. Semifinals. So game three for round two, Spider and Miguel versus Chitra and Boss. And this one's gonna be fun, man. I see this as a roller coaster game here. I see both teams at least scoring once. The offensive power is really good here. If Miguel can play his defense how he's been playing recently, I think Miguel can. If he fights off Chitra, then I feel like Spider and Miguel have a huge chance to actually win this. But if no one's stopping Chitra, it's gonna be over. And Boss, I'm assuming will take defense. So if Boss can stop Spider, it could be very close here, or it could be a complete sweep. That's what makes this one very hard to predict because there's so many possibilities, and you never know what's gonna happen in the first round. So you know what? I'm gonna take Chitra, or sorry, yeah, I'm gonna take Chitra and Boss, 3-1, but that's just like a safe score. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Actually, I'm gonna change it to 3-1. Sorry, guys. 2-1, 1-2. Yes, I'm taking 1-2 because they could score three, but we'll see. I guess that's two predictions for that. So Death and HT versus Brent and Sonic, another huge game here. If Death and HT can prove they make it into the round two, they have a solid chance playing against Brett and Sonic here because last time HT didn't do too well in the spotlight, and maybe this year I think he could easily do well in the spotlight, and it's fully possible. And Death could lead him there. Death could be that quote unquote veteran, to help HT. But literally, Death has the experience. Like he could. I feel like Death and HT, if they practice, they could put up a big fight here. So and Brett and Sonic haven't been showing like they have been on fire recently. I just said they like almost sweep replay and not Penguin, but like I haven't seen them at their best state recently. Like maybe I don't know if they've been able to practice recently. Like it's gonna be tough, especially in round two. I think the round one is gonna be a little easier, but like round two, you're actually gonna be tested here. And Brett and Sonic tied with Chitra and Botch twice in a row. So like, ooh, these two recent games are huge, and they're gonna hurt because I'm probably gonna predict wrong here. It's gonna be interesting. But if I'm looking at this from a good standpoint, I'm gonna make this the high I think it's gonna be high scoring. I want it to be like that too. Also, I haven't predicted any overtimes. I just realized. You know what? You know what? I think they're gonna go. I think it's gonna be. Yeah, I think it's gonna be probably 0-1, but it's gonna be in overtime. And then I think game game one would be the 2-2. That's what my prediction is right now, just because I want overtimes as well. We'll see though. I think it'll take overtime to win this one. We'll see though. Now let's do semifinals, and we'll see. We'll see how close this is. Scott and Duck versus Patrick and Poke, the rematch everyone's been waiting for. Patrick losing in season one against Scott and Duck when he was with Ben, of course. Poke actually has no revenge here. He just might want to avenge his Patrick if he wins. Ooh, this one's gonna be hard. This one's gonna be very difficult to predict because both of these teams are absolutely insane. Ooh, this is gonna be difficult. And I can see both of these teams making finals. But do I do the consistent Patrick? Because Patrick's made finals twice in a row. Unless this is his time not to. This is gonna be very difficult, guys. Oh, I can't. I see this. I see this. First off, let's just predict. Let's predict. Let's predict. I think. Prove me wrong. I think Patrick and Poke win in overtime. And I'd say also for game one, I'd say maybe a 1-1 or a 2-2. Like I think it's tying game one. There's no way you're not going to overtime here, boys. Because Poke is I don't know, Poke is very good with Patrick recently, and we'll see. So I'm gonna predict Patrick and Poke to beat Scott and Duck, season one champions. Prove me wrong, guys, if that's the case. But yeah. Next is Chitra and Boss versus Brett and Sonic. These games are close, and that's what makes me have more confidence in my predictions because these are close. Chitra and Boss and Brett and Sonic tied 2 games in a row in the first whatever you call it you know preseason game they had. There's only one preseason game that each team has. Ooh, do I think Chitra and Boss get their little revenge here? Or do I think Brett and Sonic run to finals again? And this one, I'm going with the upsets, guys. I am seriously going to go with the upsets. I think it's going to be maybe a 2-1 win in overtime for Chitra and Boss. You guys, I'm going overtimes all of a sudden, man. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to copy and paste. But yeah, I'm really look at these overtimes. I can't. Um, I'd say 2-2. Yeah, I'd say Brett and Sonic just tie twice. And I think that's something Brett and Sonic won in Power, so I feel like I can see them tying. I can see them trying to tie this up, but I don't see it working in their favor, especially when Chitra and Boss have been playing, really well recently. But yeah, I have Chitra and Boss versus Patrick and Pope. This is like the perfect round because none of these teams have won before, and I want someone who hasn't won before. No offense, guys. So I'm saying the champions are out in semis. But yeah, Patrick and Poke versus Chitra and Boss. The moment you have been waiting for. I can see this game going either way as well. Jeez. Do Patrick and Poke just lose again for the second time in a row, though? And don't be sad, guys, if you didn't make it to the finals. I had to pick someone. Someone's gonna have to, not make it. I'm having fun with these predictions, guys. Patrick and Poke versus Chitra and Boss. So I see Patrick and Poke Poke's more defensive, Patrick's more offensive, and then Chitra's the more offensive person, and Boss is defensive. So I personally can see Chitra and Boss winning this tournament in a fly, but I can also see Patrick and Poke defending against it and succeeding and practicing and doing whatever they can to win. And it's gonna be difficult because I don't know how well this will go for Patrick because Patrick and Poke they play really well in Mall. I'm pretty sure. I hope. And Area 51's actually kind of like Mall more than Towers. And Chitra and Boss, I feel like are more Towers people. So I don't know. I'm gonna take I will take Patrick and Poke. And that's because I want Patrick to win. Because he has gone through pain. Absolute pain for the past 2 seasons. I'm so sorry, guys. Patrick and Poke, literally, like, oh, I feel so bad because Patrick's lost finals twice in a row. Can it be his time? Can it be that final victory that just feels so amazing? You know what I mean? And if Patrick and Poke are determined, they could easily win this. And I can see finals going overtime as well. And if it goes overtime, that might not be good news for Patrick and Poke because they do not want to repeat on Powers. Um, so I'll say this before I end the video. I can see Patrick and Poke losing in semifinals and finals. Like these top four teams right here, like these top four teams, these guys are not gone. Like Brett and Sonic and Scott and could just make the finals. Like it's possible. It's just I don't see that happening. What if these predictions were completely right and all the scores? Like that'd be so insane. But yeah, I have Patrick and Poke winning. Also, I know the text smaller. Yeah, you can comment about that. I really don't. I do care actually. Chitra and Boss. But I see for underdogs, Chitra and Boss, I see him doing well, and I see him going far. If you did not get picked in the first round, prove me wrong. Seriously, you got this, and you're gonna be in a video. Even if you lose, have fun with it, right? Like you're gonna be in a video, and it's gonna be all the attention's on you. Even if I know like losing sounds terrible, but like it'll make it so much more fun. Like you'll make this tournament amazing. So don't back out if you don't get picked here. This is just my observation and what I see happening. And finals is just what I want to see, guys. Top four, I could easily see it going opposite. But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more and like the video to show support. I hope to see you in the next one.